Hello everyone, it's Gladius. In 10.0.7, Jewelcrafters are going to get a pretty awesome design called Unstable Elementium. Unstable Elementium is going to be directly tied to player power and selling player power to players through this upgrade token. The upgrade token is going to let you level up your primordial stones, which are attached to your onyx amulet. If you don't know about that, the onyx amulet is going to be an upgradable ring that's going to go up to an item level of 424. We're going to be able to get it starting at 411 pretty easily at the start of the patch just by going to the Dragon Isles and completing a couple quests. These primordial stones that we put on the ring are going to give us special effects, like having a frost shield that blocks or slows down melee attackers, our fire damage changes into chaos damage, and then also some damage enhancements as well. Everyone's going to probably want to get their hands on this ring because it has those powerful effects, and it's a pretty good item level for very minimal effort to be able to get it. Now, Jewelcrafters come in where we're actually going to be upgrading these stones from each of them being starting at 411. They're going to go all the way up to 424, which that's how we're going to get our ring all the way up to that item level as well. Now, Jewelcrafters, to be able to do this, you need to get your hands on this design. Unfortunately, on the PTR right now, we don't have information about drop chance off of the mob, but we know which mob does drop it. It's Amethyst. This is an elite rare mob that is going to be in the Forbidden Reach somewhere, but we don't really know where. When there is more information about this elite rare, I'll go ahead and put a video out about it. But for now, let's talk about what we do know. Taking a look at the Unstable Elementium, we do know that we need primordial fragments and we also need the silken gem dust. Silken gem dust can be purchased off the auction house currently and also can be made by Jewelcrafters. The primordial stone fragments are going to be created through breaking down the stones that we don't need by interacting with an NPC in the Forbidden Reach. Let's talk about a couple things we know about Unstable Elementium. If we look at the crafting page, we can see that first of all, this is a bind when picked up item. So players are only going to be able to request this through the crafting order system. Also, it doesn't have a quality attached to it, so players are probably going to use the public order system for this item in particular. So as a jewel crafter, if you look over at the crafting details section of this page, you can see that only resourcefulness is listed. That's because multi-craft is not possible on this item based on this crafting details page, and also we're not going to have any skill requirement besides having to be level 50 or above to learn the design. And finally, inspiration doesn't matter here because once again, there's no quality attached. We can come up with a specialization tree that's going to benefit the most by focusing on resourcefulness. Let's take a quick look. If we head on over to the Jewelcrafting profession tree, we're going to take a look at the Jeweler's Toolset Mastery. This is the only tree that's going to have anything that benefits us when making this Unstable Elementium. That's because this item falls in the miscellaneous category, so it's not going to benefit from faceting, setting, or enterprising. Let's take a look at Jeweler's Toolset Mastery. If we go ahead and learn this specialization, and then if we take a look at this first node, we just want to get it to rank 10 so we can learn our next sub-specialization. After we do that, we're going to take a look at the next node over here. This is the big one that we're really after, saving slivers. So as you can see, if we look at the rewards for this, we get 5% additional reagents saved on resourcefulness, flat resourcefulness, again, additional reagents saved, flat resourcefulness again, additional reagents saved, flat resourcefulness, and then a good chunk of additional reagents saved when resourcefulness procs. We're going to put all of our points that we possibly can into this tree. So let's learn it and fill it with 30 points. And congratulations, that's everything that applies to this recipe or design in particular. So there is a benefit to this as well. So it means that up and coming new jewel crafters are able to participate in this gold rush on this design in particular. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of points to be able to be efficient at making this. Really, the only requirement, the floor of it, is going to be getting to level 50 on jewel crafting is going to be the only requirement for jumping in to be able to do this. And then at that point, you're also going to want to go ahead and just make sure you have at least 40 points to be able to put into the tree so that you could be crafting your Unstable Elementium as efficiently as possible. Now, once again, to break down resourcefulness, when you craft for others in the crafting order station, you're going to be able to retain the resources you save. So when you craft something for someone else, even them providing the reagents, you're going to be able to retain some of the reagents yourself to be able to craft your own. So even if you aren't getting that much in commissions, you're still able to scrape off the additional reagents that you didn't have to use to be able to use for your own crafts. But also, starting in 10.0.7, players are going to be able to not provide all the reagents for a public order. Now, this is pretty big. It's going to help a lot because players are going to be able to supply more in commissions to make up for their lack of reagents. And crafters get to make their decision if it's worth their investment to be able to make it. It also means that profession players need to make sure that they're not just clicking on every public order they see. More of them are going to be popping up because players don't need to provide everything, and that also opens up the door for some scams out there too. Keep an eye out for that and make sure that you're not over-investing. I'll release a video on how to do this in the future when 10.0.7 is a little bit closer, so if you want to stay tuned for that, please subscribe as well. But yeah, Unstable Elementium is going to be a pretty big player the next patch because it's tied to player progression, and the only way players are able to get it is through Jewelcrafting. So there's no better time to take a look at Jewelcrafting if you've ever been interested in leveling it, or if you just like to get gold and like having other players provide you with player progression materials, then Jewelcrafting looks pretty good next patch. If this video helped you out today, please heroic strike that like button. And if you want to stay tuned for more WoW and MMO content in the future, please slam the subscribe. I appreciate your time today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.